Welcome back everyone. Let's go ahead and do a quick comparison to see how the Xbox One compares to the Xbox One X in 2022. Now I will definitely tell you the Xbox One X is a far better console than the original Xbox One, but there definitely are pros and cons for each of these consoles, but I would recommend if you have the money going up to the Xbox Series S or X. Those will probably be the better options in the long run, but definitely, if you can get your hands on the Xbox One X, that's also a pretty decent console as well still, and it still has a bunch of power within it. Now between these two consoles, the One and the One X, you're definitely getting a cheaper console on the Xbox One. It's going to cost a lot less money, but you're getting a much better experience and a much more powerful option on the Xbox One X. The Xbox One originally started at $299. The original Xbox One started at $499, eventually went down to $299. The Xbox One X retailed for $499, but now you can probably get them for about like $250, maybe around $300 for the most part. Now the Xbox One X is a smaller console than the Xbox One. It's a lighter console as well, but it's a more powerful console. There were several years of difference between these two. So because of that, Microsoft was able to go ahead and make a much better console and a much smaller form factor for relatively the same price of the launch price of the Xbox One. Now essentially with the ports, we kind of get the same port selection between both. We do get, a USB port on the front of the Xbox One X, which is nice. With the Xbox One, we have it on the side, which is still really good. But one thing about the Xbox One and the Xbox One X is that we do have an HDMI in and an HDMI out. That's something not a lot of consoles have anymore, but those are really cool features we have there. Now, we also have the ability of outputting on 1080p on both these consoles, but the Xbox One X does have 4K resolution where you can output to with HDR. So if you have like a 4K TV, well, you can get native resolution from that thing, which is actually a really cool thing. Now, on top of that, CPU-wise, they both had a custom AMD chipset or the AMD Jaguar on the Xbox One. We did have a 1.75 GHz CPU with 8 cores. On the Xbox One X, we had a 2.3 GHz with 8 cores. So a more powerful machine at that point. Also, the GPU was clocked to 853 MHz on the Xbox One, with the GPU on the Xbox One X is 1.17 GHz. So definitely a little bit of a speed increase there. You're also getting 4 extra gigabytes of RAM on the Xbox One X over the original Xbox One. On top of that, the Xbox One, the original one, came out in a few different models, 500 gigabytes and 1 terabyte. The Xbox One X actually came out in a 1 terabyte option. So even though you have the option of, increasing RAM here and there, although you have the option on both of increasing the storage, you do have more RAM and just a more powerful option on the Xbox One X over the Xbox One. Now, if you currently own an Xbox One, personally, I actually probably wouldn't recommend going up to an Xbox One X. I would almost recommend going up to an Xbox Series S, and the main reason for that is because it's a cheaper console for the most part than the retail price of the Xbox One X, but also the future of the Series S I think is going to be more prevalent than the Xbox One X. So if you want to play, a long history of games in the future that are going to be coming out in the next 10 years, well, the Series S is probably going to be more important, in my opinion, than the Xbox One X. If you currently own a One X, I would highly recommend keeping it. If you own an Xbox One, I would recommend keeping it too for as long as you can, and then when you're ready, jumping up to the Xbox Series S, and that device will probably give you a much better experience than the Xbox One, in my opinion. So that kind of covers it up for the most part. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.